Hello friends. So in this lecture series, let us look into the insights of the reaction mechanism. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. I am Dr. L. Akilandeshwari, Associate Professor of Chemistry, Sri Sharda College for Women, Autonomous, Salem. So, we will just get to know what is the reaction mechanism, and in the few other lectures we will get to know how to determine this reaction mechanism, what are the species that are involved during the reaction mechanism, the thermodynamics and the kinetics of the reaction mechanism. That forms the scope of 2 or 3 lectures following this particular lecture. In this lecture, let us look into what is reaction mechanism and the fundamentals, species involved during the study of the reaction mechanisms. First of all, what is a reaction mechanism? The chemical reactions are happening just by the combination of the two molecules to result in the product. So, this event is taking place through the breaking and the making of bonds. And the study of how the chemical reaction takes place is called as the reaction mechanism. So, just to make it in a nutshell, I can just say that the reaction mechanism describes a sequence of elementary reactions that must occur to go from reactant to product. So, when this particular reaction is happening, there are species that are formed. They are known as reaction intermediates. So, let us know about the reaction intermediates, and before that, let us know what are the different types of reaction mechanisms. Now, depending on how the bond breaking and the bond making takes place, the reaction mechanism is categorized as homolytic mechanism or the heterolytic mechanism. Homolytic mechanism is nothing but the homo means same, lysis means breaking. The uniform breaking of molecular bonds is called as homolytic fission. So, if two electrons are involved in the bond is broken in such a way that each of the electron goes to the two different fragments. That is, each of the fragments are left with one odd electron. And such a species formed are called as free radicals. In this example, you can see that the chlorine, upon treatment with the sunlight, breaks down into reactive intermediates called as a chlorine free radical. Similarly, organic molecules also result in the free radicals. Okay, and such organic moiety free radicals are called as carbon free radicals. And the next type of mechanism is called as a heterolytic fission, in which the bond is broken in such a way that one of the four fragment takes away both the shared pair of electrons, while the other is left without the shared pair of electrons. The part which is without the shared pair of electrons forms a carbocation. The plus charge is on the carbon. That is why it is called as a carbocation. And the one fragment with the negative charge on the fragment is called as an anion. So this happens in the heterolytic mechanism. There is another mechanism called as pericyclic mechanism, in which there is a cyclic movement of electrons during the bond breaking and bond making, and so in these reactions there will be no reaction intermediates that are involved. So just we will just in the subsequent slides we will look into what are these reaction intermediates. So far we have been seeing that homolytic and heterolytic reaction mechanism results in the short-lived species called as reaction intermediates. So they may be the carbocation, the carbanion. Here the spelling is wrong. Please note it down. Carbanion. N is missing here. So carbanion and free radical with the odd electron and your carbene. So carbenes are the species, very reactive 6 electron species. See, you can see that their valency is not satisfied. Although they do not possess any plus or minus charge, they are ready to form bond with some other Lewis base. So they are ready to accept electrons, and these are very important reaction intermediates that are used for insertion reactions. Similar to carbenes, there are also nitrines that are another reaction intermediates. Now we will look into each one of them in slight elaboration. Now the carbocation. The carbocation are the positively charged intermediates. They are also known as carbonium ions. They are very reactive because they have only 6 electrons in them. Because the bond pair here 2 electrons, here 2 electrons, and here 2 electrons. Totally 6 electron species, and they are looking for some base from which they can acquire 2 more electrons and have a complete octet electron configuration. So they are very reactive kind of intermediates. And what is their structure? They are actually sp2 hybridized, and therefore they are planar with the CH bond extending to the vertices of a regular triangle. So they are regular triangular planar with 120° as a bond angle. For example, some of the examples are shown here. The methyl carbocation. See here, the methyl carbocation denotes the carbon containing the positive charge. It is no longer attached to any other carbon. Such a cation is called as methyl carbocation. See here also, it is not attached to any other carbon. Okay, so this is a methoxy group. So these are the examples of the methyl carbocation. So you need to understand this, because based on this, the stability of the carbocation can be determined, which we will see in the subsequent section. Now, the primary carbocation. The primary carbocation is the plus charge containing carbon is attached to another one carbon. So there is a 1 CC bond. Such a carbocation is called as what? The primary carbocation. Very good. So next, the plus charge containing carbon, if it is attached to 2 other carbons, or if it is having 2 other CC bonds, then such a carbocation is called as a secondary carbocation. It's called as a secondary carbocation. And if the plus charge containing carbon is attached to 3 other carbons, or there are 3 CC bonds, then such a cation is called as what? Tertiary carbocation. So these are the different kinds of intermediates, that is carbocation intermediates that may be formed during the reaction. Now let us see into the stability of this intermediates, because the reaction mechanism is very much determined by the stability of the species that are formed in between, and therefore understanding the stability of the intermediates is very important. Especially understanding the stability of the carbocation is important, because most of the reactions contain the carbocation as the intermediate. Now, the carbocation stability. So it is influenced basically by 4 characters, 4 properties. Okay, so what are the first factor? Hyperconjugation. Hyperconjugation is the first factor that decides the stability of the carbocation. So the hyperconjugation is also known as no bond resonance. So this takes place because of the orbital overlap between the sigma bond and the empty p orbital on the sp2 hybrid carbon. See, when the carbon is bearing a positive charge, here let us see, I'll show you show the same thing in the next plate. See here, your sp2 carbon is having one empty p orbital here. So what happens is this bond delocalizes here, and there is what double bond that is formed, and this hydrogen is carrying the positive charge. So the similar kind of interaction can happen throughout the whole molecules. If there are 3 CH3s, then there are 9 conjugations, hyperconjugation structures, and this affords a greater stability for the tertiary alkyl carbocation. So hope you are able to understand what is the reason for the stability of the tertiary over the secondary, which is greater stable compared to that of the primary, and which is more stable compared to that of the methyl carbocation. So the first factor is the hyperconjugation. More the hyperconjugations, more will be the stability of the carbocation. Okay, so next, in the case of the next factor that decides the stability is the inductive effect. Okay, so inductive effect. So what is inductive effect? It's an electron displacement effect. Okay, it's an electron displacement effect where just electron gets it does not get transferred, but it gets what to say, the electron density moves. Okay, so this electronic effect, all of you should be thorough. So I am not going into the greater details, and we know that there are two kinds of inductive effect, that is electron withdrawing inductive effect and electron releasing inductive effect. Electron releasing inductive effect is called as plus I effect, and electron withdrawing inductive effect is called as minus I effect. So the minus I pulls the electron towards itself, while the plus I releases the electron density towards the carbon. So we can understand that when the tertiary butyl carbocation is having 3 methyl groups attached to it, all of them are having plus I inductive effect, then there will be greater stability of the positive charge due to the electron releasing inductive effect throughout the 3 methyl structures. Hope you can understand the additional factor that stabilizes the tertiary butyl cation. Similarly for the secondary, and similarly for the primary. So there is no such stabilizing factor in the case of the simple methyl cation. So this we have to understand. So far we have seen hyperconjugation as a factor deciding the stability, and now the next factor is the inductive effect. Now the third factor is a resonance effect. This is again an important concept, the resonance effect. So the resonance effect is just by the migration of the pi bonds or the lone pairs, okay, to get maximum possible resonance structures. So this results in the delocalization of charges. More the number of resonance structures, more stable is the carbocation. Let us take an example of this primary carbocation. Okay, so in which there is no scope for resonance, so this does not have a resonance stabilization. While if you have this methoxy substituted carbocation, you have resonance happening just by the migration of the lone pair. The oxygen bears the positive charge and you get a resonance hybrid. So there are two resonance structures for this particular carbocation. And so here you can imagine, although this number 1 and 2 both are primary carbocation, this affords, this has 2 has more stability compared to 1 because of the resonance stabilization. Hope you can appreciate the role of resonance in the stabilization of the carbocation. Similarly, in the case of the allylic carbocation, there is a migration of this double bond, and so the positive charge is distributed throughout the system. So allylic carbocation is more stable than the vinylic carbocation. Okay, so this is what is the thing we have to understand. Okay, yes. So now this benzylic cation, okay, the C6H5 CH2 plus, it is also extremely stable because of this resonance, because the pi electrons migrate inside, and so the positive charges are delocalized over all the benzene ring, and there are over 4 resonance structures, and this offers extremely high stability for the molecule. Yes, so now the fourth factor that decides the stability is the S character or the hybridization. The hybridization determines what is the S character in a molecule. More the S character, less stable is the carbocation. Okay, so you have what are the, this is a trend of the stability of the carbocations. Okay, so you have benzylic, which is almost equal to that of tertiary allylic, the secondary benzylic almost equal to that of secondary allylic, and tertiary, which is stable than the benzylic, and the primary allylic, and secondary, primary, and the least stable is the vinyl carbocation. So this is what you have to know. All of you please note down this trend, because this is very useful for not only the organic reaction mechanics, but also for many competitive examinations wherein the study of the stability is a probable question. So this is again a revised version. It's a better version in which you can just have an overview of the stability. Please kindly note down, all of you, and you will be having a question in the assessment question also based on this. Now the next intermediate is the carbanion intermediate. Okay, so the carbanion intermediate is the intermediate in which you have unshared pair of electrons with 8 electrons. The intermediate contains 8 electrons. So although its octet is full, it is basic in nature, and due to its basic nature, it eventually attracts the electron loving species towards itself. So it acts as a nucleophiles in the substitution reactions, carbonyl addition, and other substitution reactions, and Michael addition type of reaction. So the carbanion is a very rare kind of intermediate, and that is happening especially in the carbonyl addition reaction. And regarding its shape, it's slightly pyramidalized because of the presence of lone pair, that is the unshared pair of electrons that is present, and it is having a greater basic strength, and so it is very, very low in stability. So it is very, very reactive intermediate. And the factors deciding the stability of the carbanion are again the inductive effect. So we have seen that the electron releasing inductive effect stabilizes the carbocation, while in the case of carbanion, the electron withdrawing inductive effect stabilizes the carbanion. The electronegative atoms placed adjacent to the charge will stabilize the charge because of its electron withdrawing nature. The hybridization is again another factor as such. So in carbocation, we just have to compare the carbocation and the carbanion, because that will make our learning more fruitful. Okay, so in the carbocation, we have seen that the S character, more the S character, the lesser will be the stability. But here it is the what to say, it's a vice versa, in which more the S character, more stable is the anion. So And next one is a resonance effect, and resonance stabilizes the carbanion similar to that of the carbocation. So the benzylic anion is more stable, and because of the charge delocalization throughout the ring and the maximum number of resonance structures that are formed. Similarly, the allylic carbanion are also stable due to the resonance structures. So, based on all these factors, we can just arrive at what are the stability order. See, we can see that acetylide anion is more stable than alkenyl anion, which is nearly as stable as the arenyl anion, which is very much stable than the alkyl anion. Okay, so this is what is a trend that we can just assume. And similarly, even among the primary, secondary, the trend is inverse to that found in the case of the carbocation, because in the carbocation we have seen that the tertiary is more stable, but here the tertiary is the least stable. So this you have to keep it in mind for answering the questions, and also for assuming the steps that is taking place in the reaction mechanism. And this is also an overview in which the stability of the methyl carbanion is more compared to that of the other substituted carbanions, because of the inductive effect, these carbanions are becoming less stable. So this, and based on the hybridization, we can see that as the S character increases, the stability increases. So this has the maximum S character acetylide anion, and so it is the maximum stable compound, while sp3 is less stable compared to that of the sp acetylide carbanion. And this is based on the inductive effect. See, this benzyl carbanion is stabilized more by the electron withdrawing group placed para, because it is exerting plus minus I and the minus R effect, electron withdrawing, and also the resonance effect is also there. But here the chlorine also exerts the minus I but plus R, because of that it is in the second stage, while the unsubstituted follows. And the methyl, which is an electron releasing group, is going to destabilize the system because of the electron releasing inductive effect and destabilizing the carbanion. And similarly is the methoxy substitution. So you can understand what is the role of each substitution in determining the reaction intermediates, and based on which the reaction mechanism will be tuned. So that is the role of reaction intermediates. And so as a reaction organic chemist, we can tune the molecules in such a way that the desired reaction intermediates are formed in order to obtain the desired products. All these things are possible by the thorough understanding of all these chemistry insights, and finally we can end up in designing a very good reaction with a very good yield. And the subsequent lectures also will help you to have that knowledge. And the other intermediate we have already seen, the carbene is another reactive intermediate. Similar to that is a nitrene. So nitrene is a nitrogen analog of carbene. Okay, so it also has a 6 valence electrons. Here there are actually two types of electron pairs here. So one is a singlet type, that is both the electrons are spin paired, and this is a triplet type. Okay, so in which the electrons are not spin paired, they are just, see, both the kinds of both the kinds of species electrons are there, they are very making it very reactive. So such species like carbenes and nitrenes are used in the insertion reaction. They are very vital reaction intermediates. So just we will compare the singlet and the triplet carbenes and the nitrene. Singlet carbene contains both the electrons that have the opposite spins, and they are sp2 hybridized, while the singlet nitrenes, they contain two electron pairs that have the opposite spins, and they are very, very reactive. And triplet carbene contains two electrons, but they have the same spin, and similarly the triplet nitrene contain two pairs of electrons in which one is spin paired and one is spin single. Okay, they have the same spin. Okay, so this is the different kinds of reaction intermediates. So with this we come to the end of this lecture 1 of the reaction intermediates, organic reaction mechanisms. So we will continue further in the next presentation. So before ending, let me thank the students for the patient hearing, and kindly answer the self-assessment questions. Before that, we will just conclude by revising whatever we have seen in this plate. That is, what is a reaction mechanism? Reaction mechanism is just how the reaction takes place, and there are two kinds of reaction mechanisms, homolytic and heterolytic mechanism. The homolytic generates the free radicals, heterolytic generates the carbocations and also carbanions. Well, carbenes and nitrenes are also generated in situ during the reaction mechanism. Some of the reaction mechanisms like Riemann-Tiemann reaction, so such reactive intermediates are also present. So, and we have looked into the factors that determine the stability of the carbocations, carbanions, etc. And with this, let me close this lecture, and I request you all to just go to the link that is shared below and take the assessment questions and grade yourself. All the best. Thank you.